Okay, so the final speaker is Admiral Rachel Levine, who also can join us today, but she has a pre-recorded remarks. She, as you know, is the co-chair of this collaborative and Assistant Secretary of Health for U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. She fights every day to improve health and well-being of all Americans, working to help our nation overcome COVID-19, build a stronger foundation for a healthier future, and of course, helping every American to attain their entire health potential. She's the head of U.S. Public Health Service Commission Corp., one of the 8 uniformed services. So she's going to give you some reflection of what's going on at HHS, particularly from the Office of Climate Change and Health Equity. So over to Admiral Levine.
Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Climate Collaborative co-chairs, and thank you all for being here as speakers and contributors to what will surely be a productive day. I am sorry that I cannot be with you in person. I want to offer a few reflections which will hopefully provide focus and inspiration and give insight on our mindset here at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. We cannot overstate the importance of this critical work that we are gathered here today to discuss. The combination of extreme heat and extreme weather that we have seen across the country and around the world this summer serves as an almost daily reminder of exactly why we need to act with such urgency. The manifestations of climate change are here now, and they are causing great suffering, particularly to the most vulnerable among us. As I record this, there are thousands in North Carolina and other states suffering from the impacts of Hurricane Helene, their communities decimated. We know that the intensity of the storm and its rainfall was connected to climate change. We saw significant variation in the ability of hospitals and other facilities to manage their response, with some required to evacuate. We know that the health sector not only needs to become more resilient and more capable of addressing climate-related harm and disease, but it needs to lead the nation when it comes to reducing its own contributing emissions as well. This is a big task for an industry that's already confronted by the daily challenges of providing excellent care and managing complex operations. But we have no choice but to get the job done. Now, I am a positive and optimistic person by nature. I think that this is entirely within our reach. There are 3 shifts that I have witnessed in the last few months that form the basis for this feeling. The first is I see a deep and passionate engagement of the healthcare workforce. We know that a significant majority of care providers and others in the industry want their organizations to reduce emissions and to do that as a top priority. We see growing skill and leadership in this regard. Within HHS, where we have mobilized the entire senior executive service to take action by requiring attention to climate literacy and action as part of annual performance reviews. The second thing I've observed is significant mobilization among the agencies of HHS. Offices like our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity, the Administration for Children and Families, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and more, have developed numerous tools and supports to help communities and health systems work to anticipate and manage climate-related threats. Through an HHS-wide strategic goal and working group, many other agencies are engaged as well. In the last 18 months in particular, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has issued a powerful waiver allowing healthcare providers to get their backup energy from renewable sources. CMS has built technical assistance on improving climate resilience into its statement of work for quality improvement organizations. And CMS has launched the Decarbonization and Resilience Initiative at the Innovation Center, which will for the first time allow hospitals to submit data on their emissions and get support for reducing them. Finally, the health sector itself is now taking action in powerful ways that are very promising. In addition to the hundreds of hospitals and other stakeholders that have signed the White House HHS Health Sector Climate Pledge, and are joining the work of this collaborative, more still are shifting from commitments to action by taking advantage of the vast opportunities presented by the Biden-Harris administration Inflation Reduction Act. The IRA offers billions of dollars in tax credits and grants that can facilitate investments in things like microgrids, building efficiency, and electric vehicle infrastructure. There is a set of case examples on the Office of Climate Change and Health Equity website, noting how hospitals and health centers are taking advantage of these funds. These investments in sustainability also make organizations that much more independent and resilient when extreme weather crises hit. We know that climate solutions are health solutions, and we know that these investments make sense for health systems' return on investment. As people realize that climate solutions are business solutions, more will have joined the movement. Which brings us back to what has happened in the last week and the importance of accelerating our work together, even faster. It is why the new phase of work in this climate collaborative, focusing on taking action, documenting significant projects, and making concrete progress on emissions reduction is so critical. I challenge us all to make major investments of leadership time and attention to this work, to publicly and transparently document our progress with data, and to share our learning with one another as we go. We need to hold one another accountable and celebrate achievements as we continue. Committing to decarbonization should increasingly be a given for health sector stakeholders. The time for taking action is now. We encourage everyone listening to join in this critical work, and thank you again for the opportunity to speak with you.
Well, we had a great morning, isn't it? Didn't we? Truly inspiring. I'm just in awe on everything you do in this room, people in this room, people not in this room, people all joining this really important activity. And I think back, we've been together about 3 years. Look how much we've been able to accomplish in 3 years. Not only, of course, collectively, but in every one of your organization. And so I, like Rachel and others, are saying we're very optimistic that we can really make a difference. And so let's really work together and to make it happen. The whole idea here is for everyone to work together, to collaborate, to collectively find solutions, and to, in fact, join this accelerating movement. So thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you.